Okay, so one of the major places where you can find information is on Canvas. So part of a Canvas course, and then if you go under announcements, you can find all of the weekly newsletters as they're sent out. And the weekly newsletters have a bunch of information, and it's just a really, really good resource, a really good place to be looking. If you can, please look at those, please read those every single week. I mean, you've got all the events that are through the school, prospect events that need to get done, you've got career spotlight, you got scholarship opportunities, college focuses, you've got all of this information, and it's all sort of compiled into a single document, so a really, really good resource to be looking at. And there's just a bunch of opportunities, so if you check those out, then you might find something that you're interested in or something that you were looking for. So I highly recommend always reading the weekly newsletter, and you can do that under Canvas. And then also, if you are a junior or a senior, you should have been added to a Google Classroom. And if you weren't, then you can email Ms. Bencomo for the code. She just sends out some announcements there. It's just another way to get updated. If you have those notifications on, then you can see just all of the things that she's been adding.
So next, I will talk about the all-new Ambassador website. And so this is a really helpful resource. So we typically have the link posted on the bio of the Instagram account, and then you can also find the link in the newsletter, so that if you ever need to find the website, those are the best places to check. And so this website will be helpful for joining any of the other College Week events. As you can see, we posted the link here for today's, and there will be more links showing up for the other events that are going on this week. And so this website is just really helpful in general for staying on top of what's going on at Prospect as far as college and career events. We have the events with all the college visits that are happening. And then we also have a lot of resources if you want to do volunteering or find a job, especially during COVID. This is very helpful because a lot of those things are different now. And then we also have information about specifically applying to college and figuring out financial aid. So this website is overall just a really great place to have everything all easily accessible in the same place. So once you find the website, it would be great to save the link somewhere just so you always have it. And so, yeah, that one is definitely a really great way to get information. And then another great website for information is the College and Career Center page on the school website. So if you go to Prospect's website, you should be able to find it, and we'll put the link in the chat as well. It just has a lot of general information as well, and it also contains the link to the Ambassador website. So that is also a great resource to find information.
So Aries is a super useful website, especially for when you want to apply for colleges. It's really helpful because it's a place where you can find your transcripts, which you'll need when you're applying for colleges, and those will be under grades at the top and then transcripts. As well as you can find your CSU and UC calculated GPAs, and those are under grades and then college entrance requirements, and it'll basically calculate it for you. And you can also see the credits that you've obtained and the credits that you need in order to graduate, which is super helpful. And on there, they'll have all your AP test scores and your PSAT test scores. And then you can also see all of your 6-week grades, 12-week grades, and semester grades. It's just going to be a super helpful resource for when you need to apply for colleges because it has all the information that you're going to have to submit.
Okay, so our final resource, which is probably one of the most important, is going to be Naviance. Let me just get to it. Okay. Okay, so if you wanted to go to Naviance, first off, you would just search up Naviance Prospect High School. That would work. And you'll see a link here, Naviance Family Connection. And on our website, we have a link to it. Now, it's very important that you either type in our zip code, which is 95070, or you just type in Prospect High. Now, one thing to know, as you can see here, there's a lot of Prospect High. Ours is just Prospect High, not Prospect High School. So you click that, and you log in as a student. And I like to continue with single sign-on. I think that works best and easiest. Now with Naviance, you have a ton of resources. As you can see, now there's courses, college, careers, but we're going to focus on colleges and what you can find in that tab. So over here, you'll find a lot of things. Now to clarify, Supermatch and Advanced College Search are very similar. They're both used to where you can put in criteria, and based off of that criteria, you can find various schools. Now, I think Supermatch is a bit better because you can put criteria in the two categories of must-have or just nice to have. So I would select something, let's say I wanted something in Southeast, and that would already be set up. And then, look, I get a bunch of schools. Okay. Another really good resource is college events. So this is for college events that are outside of our school, and you can pretty much search up any school that you might be interested in learning more about virtually. So let's say I want to learn something about one of the UCs, University of California. And now I can see, look, University of San Diego is having 2 different virtual events, and I could sign up right here. And then another would be college lookup. So this is if you just want to find out more information on a school, a particular school. So once again, let's say I want to learn something about one of the UCs. I would do University of California. And let's say I want to know something about University of Davis, University of California, Davis. Now on this, you'll see that there is a ton of information. So first they give us an overview, and then we can focus in whether it's on studies, student life, cost, admissions. Now one thing I really like about admissions is if you look below, you can actually see where prospect students have applied. Looks like someone's coming in late. So here we can see in 2017 how many prospect students applied, got accepted, and enrolled. And if you scroll even further down, you can see a scattergram. And this pretty much shows, we can see each individual, whether they got accepted or they were denied. Of course, this doesn't mean like just because you got this, you would be accepted or denied, but it gives you a good idea. Because most schools, especially the UCs, when they look at you, they're comparing you to other students in your school. So this is a great resource. Now, for researching colleges, one of the probably, let me see. Okay, so College Compare is if we add colleges, so pretty much I can add college I want to look up. I'll continue with the University of California. So I would just search it up, and here I would select any of the ones that I want to compare. So I want to compare University of Davis and Irvine. I would save selected, finish searching. If I scroll down, I can see what
people got in and like whether my chances theoretically. Of course, this isn't like decided. There's a lot of other factors that UC is taking into account, but it can give you a good idea of where you're at. Another really good resource here is Enrichment Programs. You'll find below there's a ton of various internships, and there's so many here, and you can search by name or anything you might think you've heard of, but there's so many here that I think a lot of people miss out on. So this is under Enrichment Programs. Okay, especially for seniors, but this definitely applies to juniors, applying to colleges is a very, very important, because as you can see here, I have all the colleges I'm planning on applying. Now, as students, as seniors, you have to put all the schools you're applying to onto this list so that the school know where they will eventually have to send your transcripts, and you will select which deadline, so whether you're doing early action, early decision, or regular decision. And that will give your teachers and your counselor an idea of when they have to turn in letters of recommendation. And speaking of letters of recommendation, this is also how you're gonna request any letters of recommendation. Here you can see I've already requested some of mine, but if I wanted to add a request, I would just click add a request. I would select a teacher, and I would select which schools I wanted that teacher to send the letter of recommendation to. Also they have a scholarship search, so I don't have any added yet, but if you were applying for scholarships, you could add them here, and it's also good resources to find scholarships. And then the last thing is below here you'll see all the college visits. So on Naviance, you can find a list of all the college visits for our districts this year, and this is also where for most of them you're going to register. So this is a great resource because you can hear, well, you can hear an in-person representation of the school. So yeah, so these are just some of the really good resources on Naviance that I think everyone should be taking advantage of. And yeah, thank you.
We also made a Google Doc that has sort of a list. It has, you know, the name of whatever the website is. So like, let's say Canvas, and then it has some bullet points underneath, like there's a class of 2021 Canvas course, there's a College and Career Center Canvas course. You can find the College and Career Center newsletter under there. I'll put a link to that Google Doc in the chat, and it just is sort of a way to reference back if you are looking for something, you sort of remembered us going over it and you didn't remember exactly where it was. That should help you find it.